Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the ParkTalk Podcast. I am your host, Danny Ream. The Naperville Park District's gymnastics programs have been one of our most popular offerings with a variety of year-round programs for children of all ages and as young as 1 year old. One of our more unique programs is our Winter In-House Gymnastics Teams, which runs from January through May. Joining the ParkTalk Podcast to talk about the program are current Naperville Park District Gymnastics Coordinator Kara Gagan and former Gymnastics Coordinator Karen Schmidt. Kara and Karen, thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you.
Yeah, I knew that was going to be a tongue twister, saying it back and forth. All right, so to start the episode, could you just explain your roles working with the Park District's gymnastics programs and specifically the in-house program?
So I'm the gymnastics coordinator. So I kind of handle everything in the gym with the coaches, the classes, the programs, all of that. With the in-house program, I also do the music. I do the choreography for floor and beam. I try to teach the coaches, but it more ends up, I just teach the girls the routines, and then they kind of help each other to learn them. I also do everything with the meets, ordering the ribbons, the leotards, the t-shirts, getting the judges, all of that stuff. And then I'm there just making sure it's running smoothly. So
you're basically like, you wear many hats, it sounds like.
I do a whole lot of stuff with it. But
right.
Yeah, a lot of behind the scenes stuff, I feel like.
Totally. And Karen, you used to be the gymnastics coordinator, but yes, you kind of work a different role.
I do now. When I was the coordinator, she was working for me as my assistant. And we put the in-house team program together, put it into the gymnastics program. So a lot of the stuff that she was doing for me, I don't do. I don't do choreography. I don't do music. I don't train the girls in their routines. So she kept that part of the program. And then when I semi-retired, I continued with the Park District. I go in and I train new staff, and I do work with the upper levels, and I work with the girls on the in-house team. We coordinate on choosing leotards and t-shirt designs. As you can see, this is one of them.
Oh, very nice.
Yes, exactly. So I'm still involved quite a bit, not as much as I was before, but still involved.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And we'll kind of come back to, you talk training staff and coaches as well. But, the in-house program, what was the driving force behind it? We have so many gymnastics programs. So, what was kind of the impetus to start an in-house gymnastics team?
Do you want me to take that one? Okay.
Well, you started the program when you were coordinator, so I'll let you start.
We are very much a recreational program, and that's what we intended when we came in here. And we did have parents reach out to us and ask if we were ever going to start a competitive team. And there's a lot of things that are required to start a competitive team. First off, our girls that are in the higher levels, the upper levels, attend 1 to 2 classes a week, which means that they're here for an hour and 15 minutes or 2.5 hours at most. When you go on to a competitive team, you're looking at 12 hours a week.
Wow. Okay.
That's at the very beginning if you're going to be working out for USAG. That's a lot of time. It's a huge commitment. And the kids that come into our recreational program are here because they love the sport, they want to be involved, but they don't want to put that amount of time into the program. So we have kids that are in level 3, level 4, and level 5. We've had a level 5 for the last number of years. So they've committed. They've been here. A lot of the children have been here. They started when they were 3 or 4, and they're now 5th and 6th grade, 7th grade. We just had one who started high school. We've had a number of kids that have been here until they went off to high school. And we decided that it would be really nice to give them the opportunity to be competitive, be in an environment where they would be able to learn a routine, they would be able to take the skills that they have developed and worked so hard on, and put them out there in a routine showcase them to their parents, their grandparents, their friends, and give them the opportunity to perform for a judge and have a judge's feedback. So we put together the in-house team. I think when we started, we probably had 2 teams, and I think we limited to 9 at this point, 9 on each team. So when they get a team, they have a number of girls on the same team as them with their coach, their own leotard, their own music, their own routines. And then the coach of that team is able to bring in the skills that they can do. So it starts at level 3. They have to be currently in a level 3 class, a level 4 class, or a level 5. So they will be developing different skills and they'll be showcasing different skills, but they have to have a back pass and they have to have a front pass. So that's the same, but their passes can be different, and they have had so much fun with it.
Yeah, I bet. And just for clarification, the different levels of gymnastics, what are the different qualifications to, ascend to each level? I think in-house you said is 3, 4, 5?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So as far as the qualifications go, because we have a level 1 and a level 2,
right.
They have to have certain floor skills. They have to be able to do a back bend by themselves and attempt to kick over. That's probably the most difficult skill. But they're basic skills.
Pullover on bars.
Yeah.
To get to level 3, they have to have a pullover.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those are the 2 skills that a lot of the kids struggle
We'll
with.
hold them a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we expect when they start our program, like our level 1 and our level 2 programs, they will probably be in those programs for a year before they get all the skills that they need to go up to the level 3 program. But there's certain skills on beam. They have to be able to attempt a handstand on beam.
Yep.
Cartwheel at some point, and they have to be able to walk across the beam without holding our hand. A lot of our first graders are still doing that. Vault, they have to have a decent run down the vault runway. They have to know how to approach the board, how to do the hurdle on the board, and be comfortable actually landing, even if it's on a resi.
Yeah,
we'll start them on the resi.
So it's a lot of different skill sets that they have to master, so to speak, before getting to the next level.
Yes.
I understand.
Exactly. Yeah.
And we have so many gymnastics programs. You touched a lot on our level 1 and 2, and then 3, 4, 5 for our in-house. But what makes the in-house gymnastics teams so unique and so different from our other gymnastics programs?
So when they're in class, level 3, level 4, any of the classes, they are in the gym usually one day a week. They do floor every time they're there, and then they rotate between events. So 1 week they'll do bars, 1 week beam, 1 week vault, and they get to use the tumble track or the pit at the end of the class usually. Still working on a skill, but it's kind of a more fun part of the class. For in-house team, they are focused more on what skills they're putting in the routines. They're focused on learning the choreography, doing it, the floor routine to music. So there's set requirements that they have to compete. They have to do 2 different jumps, a forward pass, a backward pass, a standing skill. So depending on the girls' ability, they use that team time to work on the requirement that they need to put in the routine and trying to perfect it, because they are judged on how well they execute the skills, not necessarily, they don't necessarily get a higher score just because they're doing more skills or harder skills. The girls that can do harder skills can get a bonus from the judge. But it's just one bonus that they get. So if a girl goes out there and she competes a forward roll, a round off to a backward roll, and does a straight jump, tuck jump beautifully, she might score higher than the girl who's showcasing a front tuck or even a round off, flip flop. Some of the girls, if their legs are bent or, it's messy, they're getting more points taken off. So the in-house is more focused on learning the routines and perfecting the skills that they're going to like compete.
Yeah.
Whereas the class is where they learn new skills and they kind of get to try new stuff.
Yeah, I was going to say, it sounds like the in-house is more, you feed to your strengths. You showcase your strongest skill sets, whereas the classes, it's like you're either learning new moves or you're just practicing the ones that you're not ready to showcase in a competition.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
I understand.
Yeah.
So, Kara, gymnastics routines typically emphasize the individual. How do coaches focus on the gymnast's individual progress while also teaching them the importance of sportsmanship and teamwork?
So the way that I like to explain in-house to parents and even the kids is this is kind of an introduction to a friendly competition.
Right.
So they are competing. They kind of learn how to compete. They're getting a score for all of the routines. They get a ribbon, on each event. And the girls do a really good job when they are sitting on the side cheering for their teammate when they are competing. It's funny because at the first meet, the girls get so nervous, like they're not going to remember the routine.
Yeah.
And so whoever is competing, all the girls sitting on the side are like doing the moves and stuff. So they sometimes look at each other or they'll, like yell like jumps, do your jumps, so it teaches that like teamwork together.
Yeah.
They're all there for each other. They're all in the same boat. They all have to go out there by themselves.
Yeah. It's a lot of encouragement.
Yes.
And I mean, it's great that they have their own peers, their own teammates cheering them on. It's like they're not completely alone while doing their individual routine.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, and then the coaches, they kind of emphasize the individual, like I said, where if this child is doing their back tuck, they kind of help them perfect that. Whereas if this child is struggling with that, they might find a different skill for them to do so that they still score well. And, encourage them, we'll keep working on that. And hopefully by meet, number 2, we'll be able to compete that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's excellent. Karen, you started or were kind of like the driving force for beginning the in-house gymnastic teams.
Yes.
And I mean, Fort Hill, it's a great facility for all of our gymnastics programs.
Right.
What are some of the features of our gymnastics facility and how do they provide a valuable experience for our gymnasts?
So I started working for the Park District when they were building the Fort Hill building.
Yeah.
They already had the gymnastics center planned out. If they hadn't, I would have added like a couple of basketball courts in there, but didn't have the opportunity. So they already had it planned out and they had already ordered the equipment. And I went over to look at the facility at the area, and some of the equipment was coming in, and I was blown away by the things that they had there. So we have like a 65-foot vault runway. We have it's all state-of-the-art equipment. Mm-hmm. It's all top line, used in all of the USAG competitions. We have a spring floor. We have a 65-foot vault runway with a USAG vaulting table. The mats are put out there perfectly.
Yeah.
We have a high bar over the pit for the kids to practice moves into the pit. We have a set of parallel bars that are beautiful, wonderful. Our beams are amazing. It took us about 5 years to find out that we actually have a crank beam in the gym. Yeah.
Like getting a new feature.
That made a big difference. Well, we were getting ready to order one, and somebody said something to me, and I was like, I need to go look in there. And there it was. But we have the floor beams that the little kids will practice on, and even our big kids will use those to practice handstands and that until they get up to the high beam. But they're also there for our younger children to use, so they get a pretty good idea of what it's like to be on a beam. We have a couple of resi mats in there. You probably don't know anything that I'm talking about.
But I'm I'm like our listeners. I'm learning all these new things, and I've seen the facility before. I've been to Fort Hill many times, and I am always kind of blown away with how much they compact. I've seen gymnastics practice areas in large warehouses, and I feel like the one at Fort Hill, it has almost everything you need.
Yes.
And the fact that to hear that it's all such high quality equipment too.
Yeah.
I mean, that's great for our gymnasts
to
be able to use it.
It seriously is. It makes a huge difference. I have worked at a couple of other gyms, and although they were both team gyms, and I worked at a park district way back in the day. We don't want to go there.
I'm not asking.
And normally with the park districts, like you walk in, there's like 2 mats, 1 beam. There's like a set of bars, but it's a preschool bar. So when they brought the equipment in and they were putting the equipment together, and I was like, this is amazing. And our kids have gotten so much out of it.
Totally.
That they have come in at level 1, they get to work out on this equipment that basically they would never be able to touch. And it's amazing to see them come along. And it takes some kids a little longer than others. It's a little bit daunting. I don't get up on the 4-foot beam anymore, but I did used to frequently. And it can be a little scary. So it's amazing just to watch them, even the littles, the 3 and 4-year-olds, coming along on the equipment and working on skills that are incredible to see them acquire.
Yeah.
And the strength.
Yeah. It's incredible that they have the opportunity. I mean, I said in our intro, some programs as young as 1 year old to be able to use this equipment.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, exactly.
So I kind of want to talk about gymnastics as a sport in general. You two are very well-versed in gymnastics. And across the country, I mean, gymnastics is a top 5 sport among elementary school kids. So why is the popularity? Why is it so popular? What is driving gymnastics popularity?
I feel like gymnastics is a great sport. It teaches balance, strength, coordination, body awareness, so much, even for like young kids. I think once kids start doing it, though, as much as it's a team sport and you have a team cheering for you, encouraging you, it is also very individual, and you kind of work at your own pace. And as you are getting new skills and accomplishing stuff, it really builds that self-confidence. And I think that's what keeps the kids coming back, because they get excited. They learn something new. They can't wait to go back and try it again or learn a new skill. So I feel like that, has to do with why so many kids do it and enjoy it.
Yeah, once they get introduced, they just fall in love with it. Yeah, I can't help but think that the popularity in terms of professional gymnastics with the Olympic teams of recent, and the athletes and gymnasts that come out of that, just how popular they've become.
Oh yeah,
I feel like that could also attribute to just for young kids, just how popular it could be. They see all these
watching Simone Biles. She's just unbelievable.
Defy gravity. Yeah.
Exactly. So I'm sure watching that, even college gymnastics, I feel like has grown.
Absolutely.
They see them flipping around, so they want to. A lot of the kids come in, they want to learn how to flip.
Yeah.
And we can't start there.
We do that
today.
They see the professionals and are like, I want to do that right now.
Yes.
Oh, for real. One of the nice things about gymnastics also is we do start really young, and there's things that the kids can work on still using the equipment. So, strength, balance, coordination. It is great. Gymnastics is a great program for the little boys.
Yeah.
A lot of the dads are not keen on that. They'd much rather have their 2-year-old playing baseball or 3-year-old playing baseball. But the strength that they build, the hand-eye coordination that they build in the gymnastics center segues really well into all of the other sports coming up.
And it's funny you bring that up, because my last question before we wrap up here, I do want to focus on the individual gymnast, because like you said, doing gymnastics at a young age does kind of set a good foundation for any other sport a child wants to do as they get older. But how can the Park District's in-house gymnastics team benefit athletes even if they don't stick with the sport in the future?
I mean, kind of like what we just touched on. Gymnastics in general, like it teaches a lot of discipline. It teaches perseverance, don't give up, keep trying, and then they eventually get that skill. Strength, obviously, the balance, body awareness. I feel like all of that you can use in every other sport.
Totally.
Yeah. They get a total confidence. Like from the in-house team, we have seen children come out for their first competition, and the first competition is always a little...
Yeah, it's scary.
Yeah, exactly. Especially if they're a first-time competitor. They come out for their first competition, you don't know how it's going to go. And by the third competition, the amount of self-confidence and self-esteem that they have acquired by being able to go out there and compete in front of everybody and do a good job, and they know that they've done a good job, it's just amazing.
Yeah.
And then they carry that forth. I mean, they get to high school, they're doing debate team, they're doing a variety of different clubs and doing it really well.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's interesting hearing about the confidence side of it because you always, obviously the fitness, athletic side of it, strength, flexibility, and all of that, that's definitely going to carry over. But with the in-house teams, and having that performance experience, being in front of judges, getting, critiques, that does kind of build that confidence. And I never really thought of it that way.
Yeah. Because they're out there, they're on the floor by themselves.
Yeah.
Beam by themselves. So it's fun to watch them go from meet 1 to meet 3 because they definitely are more confident by meet 3. They're like, they set goals. They're going to show this new skill or, finally stick whatever skill they're trying to. So it's fun.
Definitely. Yeah. Well, as the sport of gymnastics continues to grow, it's great that our gymnasts in our community have access to such high quality resources to help them develop their skill set, from the Fort Hill Activity Center to the Park District's in-house gymnastics teams. We are pretty much assisting the next generations of gymnasts in their earliest years, which is always great. If your child is interested in our in-house gymnastics program or any other level of gymnastics, be sure to register to them when our winter program registration begins this December. Kara and Karen, thank you very much for joining me on the ParkTalk Podcast.
You're welcome. Thanks for having us.
Of course. If you're looking forward to more content, you can find all our podcast episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, or at napervilleparks.org/podcast. And full-length video episodes are available on the Naperville Park District YouTube page. As always, be sure to stay up to date on everything going on with the Naperville Park District by following us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, or by visiting our website at napervilleparks.org.